Hello friends, welcome back to the channel. Today we're doing a TPT Q&A. So I asked on Instagram for some questions and we're gonna answer them today. I haven't looked at them yet. I probably should look over them before we start talking, but we're just gonna go for it. So I'm gonna make some coffee. You grab some coffee. I'm gonna have iced coffee because it is hot here in Georgia, but you can have, you know, whatever it is that you desire, and let's hang out and let's get down to it. All right, friends, so we have some coffee. I have been into at Starbucks the cold foams recently. So that's what this is. It started here and it's like mixing down. So it's not gonna look this ridiculous the whole time, but it does take a minute to do it. I just do espresso and then like a cold cream thing. So that's good. And we have some questions, so I don't have time to answer all of the questions that I got, but I will answer as many as I can. The first one, MME Molina, I'm assuming that's Madam Molina, says, how do I get back on track? I work full-time and haven't worked on TPT in a year. The best way to get back on track is just to get started. So I would look at your business and I would think, okay, either two questions. Number one would be the easiest entry point, which is what do I enjoy doing the most, and do that. So if you enjoy making products the most, do that. If there's a certain product you want to make, do that. And if you don't have something in particular that's kind of pressing, then the other thing I would look at is if there are like holes in your business or pieces that like you keep thinking like, oh, I need to do that, make that happen. But the biggest thing is just going to be to get back on track by doing it. So that's, I mean, honestly, the biggest thing I can tell you is just to stop thinking about it, just get started. And I would suggest coming up with some sort of schedule so that you can work throughout the school year. That way it doesn't feel as stressful. I also work full-time. And even if that means you can't work every week, if you can work, you know, a couple of days a month or whatever it is, if you can keep at least a little bit of momentum going, then you won't feel like you're stopping and then restarting every year. So that would be my suggestion long term. But as far as right now, just think like, what is the most fun thing I could possibly do? Because you probably started TPT because you enjoyed doing something. Do that, start there, and then you can keep going later with things that are more data driven, more whatever you need to do, that kind of stuff. All right, the second question is from EMMANLSS. So I'm gonna leave that there. And it says, do you see yourself leaving teaching for full-time TPT, or would you sub and or teach part-time? First of all, I literally laughed out loud when I read this because I tell my husband all the time, I'm like, do not, I'm like, there's gonna come a day that I'm gonna be like, oh, I should be a substitute teacher. I was like, do not let me do it. Like, y'all, substitute teachers are angels and wonderful, and I have zero desire to do that. I know that my children are horrible for subs, and I'm like, no. I have subbed actually before. I've done like long-term subs for people who were on maternity leave in college, and that did work out pretty well. But no to subbing. My most magical situation is if I could find a part-time music teaching job. That would be like wonderful. That's what I would like. Not even necessarily like money-wise, but more in the realm of I enjoy teaching and I like teaching, and also teaching gives me something to talk about. Now, I am sure that I could come up with plenty of things to talk about even if I wasn't teaching, because I have taught for years, and so I know what teachers need. I know what, you know, we can do. Obviously there's still a lot to learn, but like I have an understanding of what teachers need and lesson ideas and stuff like that. But I do like the idea of continuing to teach a little bit. The problem is that finding a part-time music teacher job, I think is going to be a little difficult. So I'm not currently looking to leave my job. I am planning to go back to the same school next year, but long term, that's kind of what I'm keeping my eye out for, and we'll see. I don't know when that will be, so don't quote me on anything. And you know, I might not be able to find anything, and so I might keep teaching full-time or I might stop teaching full-time. It's just, right now I'm trying not to stress about things, and I'm trying to just be like, you know, let's just take it 1 year at a time. I already signed the contract for next year, so let's get through next year and see what opportunities come up, as well as just, you know, like mentally, where am I and what do I want to be doing at that point. The next question is from the Viral Teacher, and it says, in your opinion, is it possible to be successful on TPT without taking courses? Yes. Yes, it is. I probably shouldn't say that because I sell courses, but I didn't take any courses for my TPT shop. Did they even exist when I started? I have no idea. But no, I didn't take any courses. I just kind of figured everything out. Now, the reason courses are great is that if you can take a course, it helps you get ahead faster. Because, for example, I had to figure out how to make a logo, how to make a product, how to upload the product, how to make a preview, I had to figure all of those things out. Everything in my business has been a figuring it out kind of deal for me. And so that takes a lot longer than taking a course, because in a course, then I can just be like, here's how you make a logo, here's how you make a product, here's how you make a preview. And so it helps you kind of like get a jump start on things. Okay, that's the whole point of a course, is that it is a crafted curriculum to help you get a jump start and help you to get further ahead, because you're not bogged down by all those things that I was trying to figure out when I first started, or, you know, same thing with other people. So whether that's a course for Pinterest, a course for TPT, a course for whatever, you totally do not need to take one if you do not want to. My personality is that I enjoy figuring things out, and I don't enjoy paying lots of money for things. So I'm a person who would much rather just figure it out myself. That being said, I have taken some smaller courses, but none of them have been like TPT courses. I tend to look more for learning about online business in general, because although obviously I think that it's helpful to have specific TPT information, I personally also find it helpful to have more general business advice, because it kind of gets you out of like the TPT land and into like what everybody else is doing, which is handy. So you do not need to take a course. I never took a course until like years into my business, when I started taking just like small little things here and there and moving on with my life. Now, again, the courses I have taken have been really handy. I have my eye on one, but it's really expensive. And so I'm like, you know, do I want to do it? Do I not want to do it? We'll see. But they are helpful to have like a step-by-step progression. And so the main benefits of the courses, again, would be having a defined action plan, having those like step-by-step things, and then not having to figure it out yourself saves you a lot of time. So like in my courses, that's always my goal, is that everything is quick and actionable and helps you to just move forward on things when you have a problem. So courses are great, but no, you do not have to have one to be successful. The next question is 23 Smoky Bear, and it says, do people still read blogs? And if so, how are they finding them? Yes, people read blogs. Yes, people at least read my blogs. I guess I can't talk for all the blogs in the world, but at least people read my blogs. And yes, my blogs do convert into actual money in Teachers Pay Teachers. There's two main ways that people, well, okay, there's three main ways that people find my blog in particular, which is mostly what I can talk about. Number one is Google. Google has actually been doing even better than Pinterest for me recently. And just people going to Google, looking for elementary music lessons, looking for all that kind of stuff, and finding my resources. I'm not like an SEO expert, but I do try to make my posts as SEO friendly as possible and really think about like what people are searching for in order to make sure that my posts are being found. So that's number one, is Google search, people looking for whatever and finding my stuff. Number two is Pinterest. Pinterest is still working for me. I know that there's been a lot of changes recently over the last two-ish years, but it is still working for me. I do still get a lot of traffic from Pinterest to my blog, and I find that those kind of are different. So on Google is more people looking for something specific and finding it. Pinterest tends to be more someone like, it just pops up in their feed and they're like, oh, hey, that sounds interesting. And then they look at it, from what I have gleaned. They also do search on Pinterest, but just that's what I've noticed. And then number 3 is myself sending people to my blog. I have a lot of people on Instagram and a lot of people on my email list that go to my blog when I post a new blog because I talk about my blog and they want to go and find out more. Now that's something that only works obviously down the road and did not work when I first got started. But when I first got started, I leaned heavily into Pinterest, and then Google started working for me and all of that started working. But yes, people still read blogs. A lot of, actually, I did a whole survey on my Instagram because I was curious about many things. But this was one of the questions, was I asked if people preferred my blogs or my videos, because I do both. And it was like 50-50. Like half the people were like, no, I only read blogs, and half the people were like, no, I only watch YouTube videos. So there you have it. I will tell you, when I'm looking for information, I look for blog posts and I read blog posts pretty consistently. I don't go to YouTube actually to find information, which might seem really strange because I'm on YouTube sharing information, but I don't go to YouTube to look for information. I go more for like entertainment, or sometimes I do have some people I follow that are like online business people, but it's more like if they have something that interests me. Let's be real, I mostly watch bullet journal videos on YouTube. Tabitha Young 27 said, what is a really good teacherpreneur book to read? What is a good read in general? Well, the only teacherpreneur book that I have ever read is my book when I was editing it, and that's Level Up Your Teacher Business. So you're welcome to get that one. I don't even know, are there other teacherpreneur books? Y'all might be able to fill that in down below, because like I mentioned, I don't stay in the realm of like TPT, I go more broadly. But my top business books, I do have some videos all about my favorite business books, so I'll see if I can link some down below. But recent top favorites, I'm looking over here because that's where my books are. The 4-Hour Workweek is really good if you're looking to find a way to like automate your business. That one's really, really great and goes into a lot of really practical things. Superfans is really good if you're looking to build your audience. That would be my top pick for that one. And then if you're, the Company of One is a really good one that talks about like keeping your business small on purpose and the benefits of that, and how to kind of run your business if that is the case and that's what you want to do, which you don't have to do, but you can do. And if you do, then that's a great book to read. And then I'll give you number 4, I'm gonna go with Working Backwards, which I just finished reading recently. It's all about Amazon and like the Amazon principles of how they like run their company. And even though, you know, Amazon is a giant corporation, there were some really, really, really helpful tidbits, really helpful pieces in there that I found really useful. So that one I would recommend as well, but I have a lot. It just depends on how much time you got. Becca da Costa said, if you had to choose between YouTube and blogging, which one would you pick? That's mean. I don't know which one I would pick. For me, they convert about the same. I think personality-wise, I enjoy blogging mostly, especially because that's what I started with, because I did blogging even before I did TPT, and I really like the format and I like that. But I like YouTube because it's a little more personal, because your face is on the camera, so literally it's more personal because here's my person, and it's a little more casual, I feel like. But I think in general a blog post is a little bit more me, because it's much more, at least the way I do them, it's more structured, it's more straightforward, it's more like down to all the details. And again, you can do that in YouTube as well, but just for me, that's kind of how I feel about it. And so I think I would prefer blogging, but I enjoy doing both, which is why I do both. Katie Mash Potato, Katie, I have seen your handle like a million times, and I don't know why I didn't like actually read it until just now, and I was like, mashed potato, awesome. She said, I don't have a question, but I do like your pineapple bag. Thank you. I will see if it's still available, and I will link it down below. And the last one we're going to talk about today is Chloe Campbell TBT said, when is it time to revise your old products? There's no like magical time. I would say as soon as you get to the point where you feel like your design and your just like skills are significantly better, you're welcome to go back and revise your old products. Or if you notice something in your products that you would like to fix or you would like to add or something like that. I've been going through some of my old products and adding things or like just changing things or adding different versions that I now offer that I didn't offer before. My one caveat would be it's super important to update your old products. I need to be better about it. I highly recommend updating your old products, but don't get so stuck in the updating world that you don't make any new products. So if you're going to do that, I would say maybe have like a schedule where you like make a few new products and then do a few updates or something along those lines, so that way you are not like just stuck updating but continuing. And especially like you don't want to update something and then 6 months later update it again and 6 months later update it again. If you're gonna update it, like get it to a point where it is good for at least a year or two hopefully, and then you can go back and revisit it if you would like to. But doing those updates is really good. One, helps you sell more things, and also your products that have already been on TPT, especially if they're already selling and already getting reviews, are going to do better in search than products that are newer, because the older ones are older, they've been on longer, people have been purchasing them, people hopefully have left a review or two, and stuff like that. So those always do better. So if you can update those, it's really great. It's also really satisfying. I updated, y'all, it was last year about this time, I updated one of my very first products that I loved the concept for, but it needed some work. And just like gave it a facelift, gave it like a new versions, new activities, like all these new things. And it was so satisfying to go from like the old ugly, very sad version to like the new version. And that was really exciting. So I enjoyed that very, very much. I definitely don't do as much updating as I should because I have so many ideas. But yeah, I would say update as soon as you get to the point. But I would say updating is fine as long as you get to the point where you're like, I could do that better. Just don't get caught in a trap of like constantly updating and never making anything new or never moving forward or never, all that kind of stuff. So I'm gonna let you go and I'll see you in the next one. And I don't want to promise this, but there may or may not be an income video coming very soon your way. So keep your eyes peeled for that. Thanks so much for watching. Bye.